Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, your place for news and gameplay. Some good, some bad, and let's be honest, likely some raging tilting. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. Today's episode, take a look at some test server action. Specifically in this test server, we're looking at the Phantom, which is the new boat robot that was introduced last week, as well as the Behemoth. Also in this test server, they've added what are called the last stand visual markers, so we'll see that in the gameplay. Also, there's been a bit of a rebalance to some weapons and robots. Specifically, the Raven, I believe, has an increased weapon damage after its second jump, and the kinetic weapons, the Punisher T, the Molots, and the Molot T, all have been changed. Their cooldown has been reduced, their clip capacities have been increased, but their rate of fire has been decreased. So we'll take a look at that. I also want to apologize. It's been a little while since my last video. I think it's been about 5 or 6 days. I've had some family stuff this week I've had to attend to. I've just been way too busy. I tried to get on and do a couple things, but this is, I've made sure I made some time this weekend to look at the test server. So before we get into it, let's take a quick glance at my hangar and what I'm going to be running. So first off here, I'm going to be running the Behemoth with 4 Dragoons, 2 thermal reactors, a last stand, as well as a quantum radar. So if we go into my pilot here, well, look, I just have the standard, the increased durability, speed, some healing, and increased weapon damage. We'll go to the next spot here. I'm running the Phantom with 2 halos, a Corona, last stand anti-control, and the thermal nuclear reactor with quantum radar in case I run into any Lokis. The pilot, I've tried to add as much speed as I can, shot grouping for the spread of the bullets, and a little bit of repair. And on my next spot, I wanted to run the Falcon with the traditionalist skill. So I have a Glory with 2 Thunders, but the Thunders are absolutely meaningless in this build. And I put on here the phase shift. As we see, this is when activated, the robot becomes immune to any damage. So this is a duration for 6 seconds, cooldown 20 seconds. Now I'm immune for damage, but I can't make a fire as well. So if you could look at the skills for the pilots, I have increased durability, I have repair, and I've made some glory increased damage, as well as the last item here is the traditionalist skill. So I have an increased durability. Now in the next spot, I'm running the Fenrir. I wanted to test the Punisher T and the Avengers. So I put those on, last stand anti-control thermonuclear reactor, again with the phase shift module in this one. And with the pilot, I have healing, I have increased weapon damage, I have increased speed, durability, increased recharge rate of my shield, and my shield has an increased capacity. So going to my last spot here, I'm running the Raven because I wanted to test the increased weapon damage. So running 2 halos, Corona, anti-control, last stand with the advanced healing module. And into the pilot, what we have here is I have increased speed, increased shot grouping, increased weapon damage. I tried to do as much damage increase as possible for this particular bot, and a little bit of repair on the very last skill. So with that being said, and we've taken a quick look at my hangar, so without any further ado, let's go on and get into the action. Alright, so we have a match here. Team Deathmatch. I'll take it, I guess, on Valley. I would have preferred something else, but I guess this gives a chance for such a behemoths and stuff to stay in the battle a little bit longer. Alright, so as you remember here, I have a mixed bag here of bots, so let's start with the Fenrir. Let's look at the changes to the Punishers. Let's see here. Well, definitely can tell the reduced fire rate, that's for sure. I'm supposed to have an increased clip, but the rate of fire is decreased a little bit. Let's see what the reload is on it. So the reload is 8 seconds. Okay. Well, I'll have to see how this goes. I'm not sure if I like that change or not. I know I was playing with the Molots earlier, and really, the Molots suck. It's I'm sorry, they call it a tweak, but really, they nerfed the Molots. And I don't know why they did that, because it was the Molots weren't very good to begin with anyways. So anyways, so got that raker out of there. Let's see here, just try to increase my speed a little bit, try to get into line of sight with somebody else. Oh, there's got some Chimera or Hydras coming in. I regenerate my shield here. See if we can get around the corner here. Okay, there's a Raijin sitting there. See if I can get this. Oh, the God Jar dropped in here. It's a Behemoth. Let's see what we can do here with the Punisher. So it's doing okay damage, I guess. You know, I still like the Punishers, the Avengers, the way they were before. The Punisher, just the decreased fire rate. That Behemoth should have been dead already by now. So just back off here. Okay, nuts. I'm gonna have to find a minute here to regenerate my shields. Just sit here for a minute, regenerate my Aegis shield. See what we have around the corner here. That's the Raijin still. Okay, so we'll open up with a full spread of kinetic weapons here. And we'll get rid of his shield. Alright, so he's gone now. Alright, so just go in here, keep an eye out. I have to remember that there is a spawn point right beside me here. Just check it to make sure nobody's deciding to spawn in right on top of me. That's one of the things I always forget when playing Team Deathmatch about these spawn points. Okay, so if you notice there are some bots on the field that are black, that's a bug with the test server. I've noticed that if you put a skin or if you do a new paint job on a bot, it doesn't activate properly in the game itself. So any bots you see on the field that have a custom paint job, they're just appearing black. Just like there, we have the Invader sitting there, obviously with a custom paint job, and he's just showing black on the field. Anyway, so I'm just in my resistance mode here. Okay, so Fenrir's out. Now, let's see here. What should we drop in with? Let's try the Raven. The Raven's supposed to have an increased damage output after, I believe it's the second jump. So we'll do one jump here, second jump, and let's fire. Actually, that's pretty good. That was better than I thought it was. I can't remember what the damage increase was. I think it's something like 20 or 25%. But now the Invader's going to come take me out. I don't have a shot. I'm in suppressed, so just have to sit here and wait. Just trying to pew a little bit. Okay, now I have my firer back, non-suppressed. And he's going to be able to jump here in another few seconds and suppress me again. So I've activated, now I've activated his last stand. You can see that dark red marker when you look at a bot. That's their last stand indicator that's been added to this test server. So I just pew in here. Yeah, so I've been taken out. So now what to drop in here? I'll try the Behemoth. This is not really a map for the Behemoth. This is not a long-range map, and I have Dragoons on this thing. So let's see if I can go into my... I don't even know what this mode is called. Prone mode, or it's like a Bastion mode on a Raijin. Well, at least I got a kill with some Dragoons. That's more than I really expected. Okay, so he's out of my range. Alright, so I'm going to have to get back into my walking ability mode. Now the slow, meandering crawl over to where the enemies are. I really don't want to be in this bot for very long anyways. But it is a relatively close match thus far. See if I can somehow get in range. Just checking around spawn points. So I might be able to get that guy over top of that structure. No, I'm just hitting the very top of it here. Alright, so let's move into, try to get this guy going through center. This, can you get him? Okay. I didn't get him, but my teammate got him. Alright, so we got another Behemoth sitting there. So let's just open up and throw everything at. Well, go for this Aujin first. Let's trigger his last stand. Okay, his last stand's been triggered. And I probably should have just stayed on target with that Behemoth, but that's okay. Alright, so that was a kind of a waste of a bot, but that's okay. Let's drop in this Loki and let's go after that Behemoth right now. There we go. Got him. Now, take this bot out here. I think that's a Fenrir. Sorry if you're hearing that pounding. That's just somebody upstairs walking around on the hardwood floor. All right, so let's see. Oh, okay, so we teleport out of the way there. Trying to... That Fenrir is going to be a problem. And, of course, that Inquisitor didn't time his jump properly and pushed me right out into the line of fire. Thanks a lot. We have a Fenrir and a Falcon here, which is going to be both pains to deal with. So, okay, so my Phantom was pretty much useless. Lots due to that Inquisitor not timing his jump properly. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. I'm in my last spot. Not sure if I'll be able to last the entire match, but I do have the Traditionalist skill on this. That's why it says that I can't go into Fangs Out mode. So let's just short range. Okay, his last stand's been activated. Jumping in, he's used his Fangs Out mode, and he's out. Now the Fenrir. Let's see what we can do against the Fenrir here. Okay, come on. We just got him. We got him. Take him out. There we go. Okay, now we have a Phantom coming in, I believe. And he must have 2 last stands on that, because his last stand activation was extremely high up on his energy bar, or his HP bar. Right, so we have a Behemoth in there. We're running Trebuchets, I believe it is. He's just going to line me up, but my Falcon here can take the damage. I'm just going straight at him. I'm locked down, unfortunately. Okay, so he's teleported out of the way. Okay, so the Behemoth is down now. Now I believe that all that's left is that Phantom, although somebody else has spawned in someplace. So let's just take him out if we can. There we go, he's done. Now where's this other guy? So he's on the other side of the map. Okay. So we're doing pretty good here. Oh, another Fenrir. Alright, well, we'll take him out anyways. Well, at least we'll try. So there's his last stand activated. Okay, and there we go. So let's pound him out. Now, if my teammate here would get out of the way so I can actually hit him. Some players on the field just aren't really that smart. You know, you work a lot better as a team to take somebody out if, you know, you flank them and you don't stand in the way of somebody else trying to shoot. But we got the victory anyways, so let's quickly wrap this up. Alright, so let's see how we did in the team here. So 3rd place, 1.1 million damage, 3 kills. Not too bad. Anyways, my final thoughts. I like the extra damage increase for the Raven after the 2nd jump. That was a good change. I'm not a fan of the changes to the Molots and the Punishers. I don't think that decreased fire rate is a good change. I think the fire rate it was previously was good. It needed to have a reduction of the cooldown, or sorry, the reload. That would have helped quite a bit. I would actually get rid of the increased capacity and get rid of the decreased fire rate. All they really have to do is just shorten the reload speed. Beyond that, the Behemoth, it's okay. It's not a bot I would put in. I know a lot of people are calling for added maybe a resistance or something to it once it's in its stationary mode. But really, it doesn't need it. It has a lot of HP, and most people are just going to use it as a sniping bot anyways. And people who run sniping bots typically put something like a trebuchet on it and sit back at 1,000 meters. So really, it's not going to benefit that much more. And if you do put a resistance on it, yes, it might help people who decide if they really want to run it in kind of more of a brawling setup. But people are not going to. They're going to stick to their Fenrirs, their Falcons, their Spectres with Orcans. They're going to stick with the standard bots. And the people who are going to go after the Behemoths are going to be the ones who want to run range. And if you add resistance to it when somebody's in range, it's going to be that much harder to get to them and take them out. And it's going to be fairly annoying on the field. The Phantom, I haven't noticed too much of a change since the last test server weekend. It seems to be okay bot. Again, it's not overpowered. It has an interesting mechanic. We're still waiting to see if this Leech that Islander has mentioned is going to be coming into the test server for us to look at. But beyond that, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them below. And until next time, cause some mayhem in the field for me.